everyone, welcome back. You're still watching European Closing Bell. I'm Louisa Boyes, and the Seattle Seahawks, they won the Super Bowl in a 43-8 landslide victory over the Denver Broncos last night. The highly anticipated game was hardly, though, the nail-biting, down-to-the-wire match that fans and corporate advertisers they were hoping for, because it was such a wide win, right? But our next guest is suggesting that the large amount of chatter on social media added buzz to the most polarizing ads. And now among the most popular ads was Budweiser's Puppy Love. If you haven't already seen it, it is actually worth watching to find out why.
You only need the light when it's burning low. Only miss the sun when it starts to snow. Only know you love her when you let her go. Only know you've been high when you're feeling low. Only hate the road when you're missing home. Only know you love her when you let her go. And you let her go.
It's really bad when you tear up from commercials with animals in them. David, welcome. David Newman is the social media manager at Prime Visibility, is with us from New York. What made this year's Super Bowl different in terms of the advertising input? Because I understand social media had quite a big role to play.
Sure. So when we analyzed conversations across Twitter and Facebook, I mean, this commercial alone generated over millions of mentions across Twitter specifically. But what was unique to see this year is the incorporation of hashtags and advertisements. I would say over 90% of commercials had a hashtag where they wanted people to continue the conversation with their followers across Twitter.
Just generating more exposure. We're just seeing part of David Beckham's body and an ostrich. Completely unrelated to each other. Which were the most popular ads and some of the ads that were less popular?
So the one that was just shown, the Budweiser one, was the most popular, along with the Tim Tebow T-Mobile commercial. And that one especially was a great idea. Tim Tebow is always really popular through social media, and the no contract play, with him not having a contract with a football team and the T-Mobile offering no contract with their service, was definitely a good integration there. On the least popular side, the Coca-Cola one for America is Beautiful did generate some controversy, specifically around the fact that, you know, the America the Beautiful was sung in foreign languages, and it did generate some negative response, but it did spark some conversation. So you can also make the argument that while it did generate some controversy, it did generate some social media buzz as well.
How rapidly is the whole social media relationship to advertising changing the advertising industry?
Oh, it's definitely increasing each and every year. I mean, if you look at YouTube alone, back to the Puppy Love commercial, Budweiser posted that video prior to it airing, and it generated 17 million views in 24 hours. And before the Super Bowl even aired, it was up to 37 million views. So just by simply putting up a video and getting people to share and interact with it, you can generate a significant amount of traction towards it.
Absolutely crazy. I mean, you can sell anything with a puppy. Or
you can sell me anything with a puppy.
No. David, it puts the bar pretty high, though, for next year and for other sporting events as well. Are there any negatives that can come from big adverts like this, from making too much exposure? Here I'm thinking about, it's a little bit separate to that, but Beyonce, for an example, deciding to launch her latest release, all of a sudden, what was it, 17 songs at once, and it hit the media all of a sudden, and everybody was taken by storm. Can there be kind of a surprise element that's lacking because it's so out there?
Yeah, there's always the negative aspect to it, where if it generates a lot of controversy, is it really beneficial for the brand? But getting exposure out there, you can also make the argument that any exposure is good exposure, especially when it's upwards to tens of millions of people interacting with your brand. Looking at also, for an example, JCPenney this year, they wanted to replicate what Oreo did last year with their brilliant tweet about you can dunk an Oreo even during a blackout. What they did, though, they actually tweeted out what appeared to be tweets from somebody who looked like they were drunk, but in actuality, it was somebody who was tweeting with mittens, and they were trying to promote, I guess, mittens during the Super Bowl. And while it did generate a lot of exposure, a lot of people thought it was trying too hard and really wasn't resonating with the audience there.
Yeah. We're now just looking at another ad of a girl and a dog and Doritos. But yes, David, thank you very much for being with us. David Newman, social media manager at Prime Visibility. Simon Derrick's been with us for the full hour.